In this video, I'll be doing a walk around on our CVT tent that we have been using for a while now, but let's get right into it. So this tent is from CVT. They're out of Bend, Oregon, and it's their second biggest one. I can't even remember the name. I'll get the name before I post this video and you know, edit it and stuff. But anyway, they're all named after mountains like Mount Shasta and Bachelor and stuff like that. So it's one of those. But anyway, it's the one with the California King up top. So usually when you're buying a rooftop tent, you know, there's a ton of them out there. And honestly, they're all probably pretty, I guess, similar. So I honestly can't remember the exact price that we paid. But this whole package, you're probably looking at a couple grand for something like this, you know, depending on who you go with. This is like their big model, and then it has the annex room. That's that room right there. They call that an annex room, and I'll show you that here in a second. But that thing's just, it's huge, and it's really nice for a changing room, and you can sleep more people there too, if you want to. But anyway, so this is the soft shell, which means the cover on it. This is the this black thing. That's the cover. It's just really thick material. The hard shell ones, it's, you know, like, I think they're like a hardened plastic or even fiberglass on some of them I've seen. Anyway, but those are just pop up more like a traditional, like a Westfalia, you know, Volkswagen, or they clamshell, and they just tilt right up, and they're a lot easier to put up, which is really nice about the hard shell ones that I've seen. Downside is they're not, they don't make any like big ones that's like, you know, a California King, because if you look from right there all the way to right there, that's the sleeping section, and so that's where you get the space. So on those ones I'm talking about, they're just on top of the vehicle, which is about, you know, as wide as the tires here, you know, normal roof. And so you're only going to get probably like a full-size bed at max on those. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's a bigger bed, but we sleep, you know, 2 adults and 3 kids, and so that unfortunately isn't an option for us, or I would have liked that, because it's just, you know, a little bit easier to put up for sure, less things to do. But we can kind of go into that. In this video I'll have, you know, videos of us putting this up, but it's really not that bad, honestly. Especially just last night we didn't use the annex room because we were just there for one night, and it probably took me 10 minutes tops. And so it's not that bad. It looks, you know, harder or bigger than it really is. So there's around, so when you're setting this up, these poles, so that's, you know, one part of the process. There's 6 of those. And then on the inside there's more. And then you can see here that this annex room on ours, see how it's kind of like bowed out a little bit? That's because it's not high enough. So we kind of have to compensate. So I'm actually on this trailer, pretty soon here, hopefully we'll have a different rack system, and I'll, you know, widen that gap. And so it'll help out with that. But anyway, and then we like to hang our stuff on these poles. It's good drying. And then that's the rain fly that you see there, that darker colored material, and it does really well. We're in the redwoods right now, but we've been on the coast for this whole time, and it's rained definitely, I don't know, a couple nights, and you know, it does really well. I've never had any leaks. It dries out really fast, and it's just been all around a great thing. As far as setup goes, when you're riding with it, like I was, when you're traveling down the road, this black cover is on it, and then when you get to camp, you just undo that, let it down. Then there's a ladder, and then you pull that, and it just kind of plops over, and then you put those 6 things in there, and then a couple stakes. I just do like 6 stakes around here. So there's 3 possible entrances, one right there, this one in front, and then one right there. But depending on the campsite, we'll use this front one more often. And it has, this is the actual door. You can drop that down and zip and Velcro at the bottom. And this is the mesh. And then here's the annex room. So I'm standing up right here because there's, you know, a lot of space fully. And then underneath there, I can almost stand up. If we raised it up, I'd be able to stand up underneath there probably too. So then here's some little, we put some lights right there. We hang lights there. But it's a pretty big room. I mean, you could sleep, I don't know the exact measurements, but you could sleep a bunch of people down here also if you needed to. Or we just use this as our changing, you know, it's like dirty clothes, and we put all our clothes in here, and then you know, this is where we change. Or if it's like a rainy day, we can just hang out in here if you needed shelter. So it serves a couple different purposes. So I definitely like the annex room. We'll walk up to the upper deck now. I'm gonna take off my shoes, but the ladder, I mean, it's, all this stuff's aluminum, but it's, I mean, it feels really, you know, solid and everything. And I've never felt like I'm gonna like break anything in the tent. And we've, you know, we've always slept, you know, 5 people up here, 2 adults and 3 kids. And so, you know, I'll be in the middle over there between the kids, and then Isami's like down here with the baby, and it's plenty of room. So we'll hang up, or we'll hang out up here, you know, if we, I don't know, like want to watch a movie before bed, or just like play a game or whatever. So it's just like a nice place to chill. It's pretty big. I mean, like I said, it was a California King, and there's a mattress underneath this. And the nice thing about this that I like is it's really easy to, you know, put down versus, you know, say you're like ground tenting and you've got to like put your sleeping bags in the bags again, and then like get the dirty tent up if it rained or whatever, you know. This is nice because it's up above, and I know it can kind of look ridiculous to some people like a tent on top, but it's funny. I've actually really enjoyed this setup, and it's nice because all these sleeping bags, when we're done, we just kind of put them all over there on the other side, and put all the pillows. I have like a way where I, you know, arrange it, and then we just, you know, fold it up, and it all, you know, goes together. Now, most rooftop tent manufacturers don't recommend that, just because, you know, they don't want to, you know, split. You know, there's just it's just more in there than what they had designed it for, apparently. But we have never had a problem, and it's fine. And I haven't broken anything yet, and we've used this a decent amount. So that pretty much concludes this tour. I mean, I went over most of the things, I think. One thing that I will be getting back to is the actual model of this thing, which is important. But if you look at CVT, you know, they have a bunch of, you know, models and stuff. And I am not, I mean, affiliated with them at all or anything. They actually don't even do like wholesale accounts. So, I mean, I don't know if we will be because that's pretty important if you know, want to sell some product. But I just bought this because I thought it was a really good product, and you know, they gave me a good deal on it, and we can offer these if we wanted to. I just don't know if it makes sense, you know, margin wise, but we'll see. I might explore some other rooftop tent options in the future if they, you know, if our clients want them. But at the moment, it hasn't been a big thing for our company, just because most of our clients just don't want them because they sleep inside the vehicle, which is, to me, the best option. But because we have 3 kids, you kind of have to, you know, change your life and sacrifice some things, and it gets pricier too sometimes with the more kids, right? And so, you know, this is our setup, and we've actually really enjoyed it. We're currently on a 1-month trip, camping trip on the Oregon coast, and we've slept a lot of nights in this thing, and it's been great. And we keep on trying to, like, you know, see if there's a better solution or whatever. And I haven't come up with one, you know, yet for us personally. And, you know, that's why, you know, I still like this thing. But again, they can kind of look ridiculous, honestly, for some people, especially, you know, people that are used to like ground tents, and they're like, why the heck would you want that on top of your car? And that's where, like, me personally, I've had this on a car, this same tent, and the setup, you know, it, like I said, it's not like a huge deal, but it's just enough probably to annoy you if you're using it a bunch. Especially, so like us, we have the trailer, so we come to the campsite, drop the trailer, and then set up the tent, and then we can go drive around in our car. Now, if you just had it on top of the vehicle, you don't have that luxury. So that's, you know, you have to put it down every time if you want to go into town or whatever. So it really just depends on your style. But that's where those hard shell ones, I think, come in clutch, because, you know, they can just plop up and it's not as big of a deal. So anyway, but thanks for watching this, and I hope it helps out if you guys are deciding on, you know, getting a rooftop tent or kind of your setup. I'll hopefully be doing a video on our trailer pretty soon here. But thanks for watching.